Alright, there's a lot going on here. But this is taking this art project into a 3D environment. And the whole point is having control of what your viewpoint is and what you have. So I have been dancing around this idea of a T9 interface to control viewpoints on art. So, but this in particular really pieced stuff together, understanding what my brain was trying to tell me is that the finger presses, so like if you do that, the left thumb is a dual purpose, so which will have to be worked out, but the basic point is the thumb on the left hand, if pressed, it works on all these functions, but this only has one function. It only works with this side, the right side. So that can only work with the first four. So directions, obviously, that's why we write with our right hand. It's a writing, it's binary, and then the other one is the dual purpose on the thumb. This is more defining the control and the reason why we call our fingers what they are. The index finger, that's always up. You always go 1, 2, upright. You're always being upright. That's just how life is. You be an upright citizen. That's what it comes down to. And then the ring finger is left. I haven't quite figured that one out yet, the thought process behind that. Pink got me to understand that is bad, because pinko is a communist thing. That's but it's pinky, and pinky is the smart part. You know, you have to break stuff to make stuff. So pinky in the brain. And this is a lot of and you're probably thinking this is disassociated or what have you, but it is and it's not. There is a back to the art itself. Everyone's got their own individual pattern on how they correlate and do things. So you may not understand it yourself, but your body remembers events and how it reacted in those events. That's called muscle memory. I think I got that right there. So body positioning during a conversation is a complex conversation between oneself and another individual. If you knew everyone of something else, all of it, then you should be able to know exactly what their brain is telling you, just based off of a movement, a twitch, just a combination of things. So it's pattern recognition, not only by defining it for yourself, you can offer it to others, which helps them define it for themselves, and you can then better your language back and forth. Now, this isn't mind reading. This is something else, but it's just basic pattern recognition. Back to this. So you got the cube, which is right there, and that's your left thumb. So that's this, what that is right there. That is a complex conversation between three things. This one up here is going to have it's now 100, and that's 0. So I understand that, but I want the to pivot around an imaginary access point. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to actually have that, because we don't see what we're pivoting around. We don't, and that's the thing. We all know that. Like a problem, you know the problem, but you don't know how to navigate to get to the answer, I guess, is the idea I'm trying to progress. The center point, you're stuck. Okay, the way this works is the viewer is always, it's always going to be stuck on this platform that you're not really going to be seeing. It's going to be very shaded, very dark, very faint when you're looking down. You'll be able to rotate 360 degrees around this center image, this person right here, from a 3D scan. So, and that's what you're viewing. While you're being able to view it and take it in, it's all about controlling that 3D sphere that you're able to navigate, to zoom in, zoom out. What's always going to be present is that line. You're never going to have. So I guess, like, if that's the point, then I'm going to write this. So back to this, that X in the middle is you, and you're basically sliding in between the 0 point and the 100 point axis. So this is basically how it works. So there's your one center spin, and this is basically a wheel mechanism that rotates around this point right here. So this is where you're always been. This is you. This is your position. Wherever it is, that is just the center point. So whether you want to think of it like that, which I don't, you're on this line right here. So this is, my brain's trying to work something out, and I can't figure it out. Which is fine. I keep hitting a button. I'm sorry. I'll piece this all together. But, so you, as a viewer, have one center point of right here, this crosshair on the screen, which opens up a world to the viewer. Okay. But this, hypothetically, if you've got to define yourself between a viewer, the id, the ID, I don't know, an ego, which is your environment, because ego is your control. So it's an action. The id is the ID, so that's what you're trying to ID. So this is what you're looking for. This is your curiosity. And then this center point is, so technically there's a screen right there. So, but that center point is technically you at any positional moment. So at time, you are a definable in the 3D space. You are defined at 1 X, Y, Z dot, which is fine, but that's not you. That is your sensory input between worlds. Now that is the easiest way to understand that is like you're in an environment that is virtual. It is not the same as yourself. So you are literally a person outside of a space. So I mean, this makes sense. This is not hard. I know this looks chaotic, but I haven't had time to organize it. It's just been flooding in. This isn't anything new, but you can translate this idea to self. So your inside mind and outside body. All right. So, and this point is the digital representation of self in time. So you'll be able to navigate anything. So technically, removing all hard thinking, the basic core idea is like you can enter a digital space and self-aware. There's the problem. Self-aware. You'll never be able to define yourself, the outside individual, this person, as self-aware, but the body itself of the inside world, this body in there, this representation in here, you'll be able to make self-aware. And all they'll be able to do is do the same thing for the next layer. So it's just a repetitive process, which is fine. But fuck. It all comes back to this, is what it comes down to. The fingers and understanding that. And then you can get exponentially more complex with toes and all this stuff. You can add all this stuff, but when it comes down to the core process of defining how to control or change oneself, because once you figured out how these processes work, they fold on each other. Once you figured out a pattern, once you figured out yourself, period, that core point, which you know that you just know. I don't know. There's no that. You just know. And there's many moments in life where you hit that. But, gosh. Like, the concept itself, I'm a couple $1 million to get this done. I know that. But the exponential value from it is, and this is information that, and that's kind of hard when you're coming up with a new idea of something. You're like, wow, this, I already knew all this. Why didn't I piece this together? And the thing is like, you have multiple times. You just don't know how to explain it. So that's why art is what it is. But right now, it's not right now. We've been there. See, I'm not getting into all the theoretical stuff of whether we've done this before or not, because that's not me. I'm not here to answer that. I'm not here to answer a lot of stuff. I'm here to prove one point, that I can change. I can change. And the only way I can change is by letting people know they can change. And by me changing, they can change. And then, am I really changing, or is this part of the bigger plan? Is this part of the bigger project? So, all right. I appreciate your time. Look forward to your comments. Thanks. Bye.